This is the Big O Show. 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 This.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 16 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new 2024 MDX, $469 a month during our 16th anniversary sale.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Take a journey to our Caribbean paradise at Toyota of Hollywood. Get in the groove with great deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a Corolla, not 24,000, just 17,975. You'll be cruising and chilling with super low 2.99% financing. Feel the rhythms of the Caribbean today at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 16 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new 2024 RTX, $419 a month during our 16th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty. Good morning, boys and girls. Will it be a good evening is the question, right? I mean, that's what we're trying to find out tonight. Will it be a good evening? Will the Panthers make us feel better, or will they take us deeper into the abyss? Because that's where we're at right now after these 3 games. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out, and tonight, we'll again have a post-game show, which, by the way, thanks to all of you joining us on Friday night. It was, when they lost, I was like, well, it looks like everybody's going to go about their Friday night, but lots of you showed up on Friday, so thank you for supporting the platform. Tonight, we'll be back, Sean and myself, working hard for you guys as always, getting it done. So join us, just like you a lot of you joined us on Friday. We had a big crowd on Friday, so that was really, really cool, especially for hockey. It's just something that, I'm not used to seeing when it comes to hockey. So pretty cool to see. Nice crowd on Friday night. So really, 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 really appreciate that out there. So we'll be here again tonight. But if they win tonight, which I'm going to say they're going to win tonight. All right. I'm going to go out on a limb because it's now going out on a limb. But yeah, no, I think they're going to find, they're going to dig deep, and they know that they're going to be on the wrong side of history if they lose. So I think they're going to get a desperate Panther team tonight. So I'm going to stay on the positive, and I'm going to say that these guys are going to find a way to win it all. So we'll see. we'll see what happens. We'll talk about it here on the show. Friday was a disaster after that 5-1 loss. Obviously, we talked a lot about it on the post-game show and what that loss and what it could mean down the stretch if you even lose. So we'll address that too. I got some stuff that I want to talk about. You know, I always start to sit back and contemplate some of the stuff that goes on in sports. And one of the things also with the Dolphins. So I've got a Tyreek thing that I want to run by all of you out there. And it's an interesting subject because so many have so many different opinions, but we're gonna get into that also. Couple of Dolphin stories that I want to address. Obviously, got some stuff on the WNBA side. Got USA Soccer, US Soccer. They were successful yesterday. Bitcoin. We got another dip going on right now. We're into the 61s right now, 61,502 right now. So a sweet ass dip for Bitcoin. And by the way, for those of you that might be wondering, last week you had Germany selling, which if you think that, you know, having whether it's Trump or Biden running your government, which is stupid, either one, because they've been a disaster, both of them, destroying our economy. But just in case you think we're the only country that has stupid people, there are stupid people running England. There are stupid people running Germany. There are stupid people running a whole bunch of countries. Okay. All right. Tons of them. Somehow or another, human beings are terrible at putting in leaders. And then sometimes they have no choice, like in North Korea's or Russia or whatever. But it's just so you'll know, because Germany confiscated a whole bunch of Bitcoin from someone, and the morons are selling it. So they sold it last week. The miners are also selling that are mining the Bitcoin because it takes about $54,000 to mine a Bitcoin. That's how much energy it takes. So, you know, you've got expenses. And where's it at right now? It's at 61. So you're not profiting a lot if you're a miner. So you have a lot of costs, buildings and mining machines and, you know, sometimes electricity, sometimes it comes from natural sources. So you kind of get a break there, but it all depends. But either way, it costs a lot of money to produce a Bitcoin. And so miners are they've been selling. They're at exchanges are at an all-time low for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Miners holding Bitcoin are at an all-time low. Also, we are going to have a supply shock that is going to freak the hell out of people when it does hit. Okay, Mt. Gox, which was a whole thing with an exchange that they had a whole bunch of issues and they had a lot of Bitcoin for a lot of people, and it was kind of held up in court and all that kind of stuff. And now they're going to start redistributing it out to people. Although I don't expect those people to be selling because we're right in the middle of the start of the bull run where this thing's going to accelerate. So they probably will hold on. So I don't think that's going to have a major effect to the price. But the miner selling, Germany selling has been, you know, something that has affected the price here the last week and a half or two when you've seen this other dip from where we were in the 65, 66 range. So now just to kind of fill you in on all of that, listen, if you're holding strong, we lived through, you know, FTX and Three Arrows Capital and Celsius and Gary Gensler and Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren and you know, Chokehold 2.0 and everything that the government did, you know, because remember, Trump's administration was anti-crypto, and Biden's administration is superbly anti-crypto, and so now they're all turning, and that's all because they're you know, They're pandering now. You know what I'm saying? Not really because Trump knows anything or Biden and company. They're completely evil against it. Okay, they are completely Democrats are completely against Bitcoin and crypto. Completely. At least Republicans are all for it. Trump now is for it because he can make money from it. Does he know anything about it? No. But at least his party, I mean, Mississippi just passed a law now to protect custodial services so people can maintain their crypto and block out CBDCs, which is what the Democrats want to shove down your throat. So just want to kind of fill you in on what's going on with Bitcoin and everything behind the scenes and why the price is, fluctuating right now and why we have, but again, not a financial advisor by any stretch whatsoever. Okay, I am not an expert. But the way I look at it, what I do with all of this is an opportunity of a lifetime. And this entire stretch here for 3 months of staying sideways here between the 61 and 71 area, because that's basically what we've done for 3 months, floated in a $10,000 block. That's what we've been doing. 61 to 71, basically, is what we've been doing. So, to me, this is just accumulation and just buys you more and more time because once it takes off, you will never see the 60s again. You will probably never see the 70s again. You can forget about the 50s and the 40s and all that. Once this thing goes over triple digits and takes off, it's never going to have that kind of a drop to come back down because institutional money is coming in, countries are coming in. This kind of stuff just doesn't move. Just so you'll know. Okay? So that is just kind of a little bit of your Bitcoin update to kind of give you a little bit of it. And again, of course, because Bitcoin, suffers a setback, altcoins they take a bath. So whichever altcoin you're into, like I bought a little more Neutron this morning because it's like at 44 cents. I think I got it at 44, 45 cents, something stupid. I'm just going to add more Neutron. You know what I mean? So certain altcoins that you might be into that, you could lower your price. That's what I'm doing. If I could lower my price on anything, that's what I do. If I believe in it, you know what I'm saying? So this is your opportunity. That's the way I see it. Okay. That's the way I've seen it from the get-go. All right. So there you go. That's your little crypto breakdown. Kind of give you guys a little bit of the deal on what's going on. And my Lord, Germany, you guys are a bunch of fucking morons. Seriously. Everybody's dollar is crushed. If you have Bitcoin, keep it in your reserves, you morons. Jesus, man. Stupid people. Seriously. Our government also sold some too. They've confiscated. Instead of us actually buying Bitcoin and putting it in our reserves, they've confiscated also. And then obviously the Biden administration, stupid as they are, they've been selling it, which is just absolutely moronic. Anyway, so there you go. All right. I see Steve Chapman is in at number 1. Nice. And I got to say, okay, we got to call things like we see it. 55 likes to 106 watching. That's a strong start. That's a strong start that half. You're only down by half. Normally, it's 75, 80% of the people watching haven't even hit the like button. This means already half of you have hit already. That is, I thank you all out there. That is super awesome. You're getting the habit of coming on and hitting that like button. So those of you out there, if you can, we're working hard. Sean is working his ass off. And so let's do it, man. Do it for Sean, the man that works his ass off here on this platform. Hit that like button. Get us to 100 already, man. Let's go. Let's get to a couple of hundred here, 200-300 easily today. Let's rock it out. Let's see. Steven Gonzalez says, however, game 7 doesn't matter. You're here as an athlete. You will never feel more alive, the pinnacle of the sport. Embrace it, cherish it, and play We'll compete with passion and joy, no thinking, trust every instinct you ever had, and play the game of your life. Let's go, Panthers, no regret. Nice job, Steven. Nice job. I like it. I like it. Steve says Panthers have lost all momentum and confidence. Having said that, they'll probably win tonight. Well, I mean, listen, the place is going to be rocking. Yes, I'm nervously excited, obviously, because we have a chance to see our team win a Stanley Cup. That's just amazing. You know what I'm saying? I'm beside myself in that sense. So I couldn't be more excited about it. But yes, the trepidations are there. The nervousness is there. It's all there. It's all there. You're worried because you could be on the wrong side of history. Like let's say the Buffalo Bills going to 4 Super Bowls and losing them. That's the kind of stuff you never live down shit like that. So yeah. So it's going to be rough. Oscar says if the Cats lose, this will be a monumental blow and probably the biggest loss and biggest blow to the organization, any team in South Florida history. This is 3 times they reached the final. Nah, but it's not. The other 2 I don't count, Oscar. They weren't the better team. This one hurts. The other 2, 96, bro. I don't know if you're old enough or whatever, but they had no business being there, dude. And Colorado was a monster, my brother. That is happy to be there, not ever holding that against them. That's silly, okay? And last year, they weren't the better team. They got everything, they got a 4th-string goaltender to get them into the playoffs. This year, they earned the right to be there. They are the better team. They have just now choked. So this season is completely different than the other ones. I don't lump them all in. That's completely unfair. Heriberto is in the house. The Williams sisters should bang the drum. No, dude. There's, Beezer, Mellenby, whatever. There's lots of great people within the Panthers' history that can do it, man. Just don't bring out someone that is 947 years old, bro. I mean, that's just some dumb shit, man. You need somebody that brings, enthusiasm. I wish I could do it because I'd bring some serious enthusiasm to it. But I'm a nobody, so, it's like, hey, banging the drum, Orlando Alzigari. And they're all going to look around like, who the fuck is this guy? So I get it. But bring somebody with life, dude. Jesus Christ. Cosa Nostra, Gus is in. Ray Sosa, Fernando Perez, Brooklyn Rob. Don't know about anybody else, but I plan on baking all day till game time to control my anxiety over Game 7. Yeah, I don't blame you for baking all day. Got to get mellow for it. Okay, that's a good way of handling it. I think that's a really good way, Brooklyn Rob. Jamie Zorria out in Torreon, Mexico. Hoping everybody has a good weekend and says, smash that like button. Let's go. We're at 80. Strong. 117 to 80. Let's go. Let's get it already over 100. Come on. Jamie Zorria. Like I said, Giovanni is in. It's his birthday today. I hope the Panthers give me the best present. First cup win on my B-Day. Always remembered as the Cats collapse into infamy. Everybody have a great day. Let's go Panthers. Giovanni, happy birthday to you, sir. Thank you, as always, for your amazing dedication to our platform. I appreciate you, my brother. Happy birthday. Everybody wish Giovanni a happy birthday, man. Let's see. What else? Good morning, Owen, Sean. Are you surprised we dipped under 61? I'm not really shocked. But I'm kind of like the way I look at it when I jack, I'm pleasantly surprised, bro. You know what I mean? I thought maybe we'd hang around the 65 area because it looked like we found the floor there. But obviously with the miners selling, with Germany selling, and, you have weak hands and all that, it is what it is. But for the rest of us, buy a little bit more, man. And by the way, sweet dip. We love our Bitcoin on the show. If you want to make a donation to the show, best way, you can do it on the super chat, but YouTube takes 30%. Cash App or Venmo, we get 100% of the donation, and you can make a Bitcoin donation, which, of course, that's the donation that keeps on giving. So appreciate all of you out there. So if you want to make a Bitcoin donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. So One-Eyed Jack, I find this as a beautiful opportunity. That's the way I look at it, my brother. They're gonna lower the rates. Money's gonna start flowing. The M2 money supply is going up. Every time the M2 money supply goes up, all risk assets go up, dude. Bitcoin is going to be part of that. So I'm not worried about it. I know that today is not a good day, I think, in the market. If I'm correct, I think the market is hurting a little bit. Let me get the update here on Bitcoin. See where we're at. 61,414. And the market right now, oh no, we're doing all right. Dow's up now 300 points. S&P's up almost 18, and the NASDAQ is up about a half a point. So we have a green day. So that will be positive for crypto eventually, because as the stock market goes, so does crypto. So eventually it's going to turn up. To me, this is, like I said, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. That's the way I look at it. Ocala Joe is in the house. I'm still buying this sweet dip. Have a great day. You're a smart man, Ocala Joe. You don't waver. You know what I mean? That's the thing. People get nervous, and then they get off, and then they, it's all right. Listen, if you got out with profits, God bless you, dude. Like some of you that got out with Jasmine after its early pumps, you got profits, you took it. God bless you, dude. Those of you that hung in there, it went up higher for you, right? Now it's dipped. Now either you sell again or you hold on, maybe buy again in the dip, and then wait for the next stage. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. What you don't want to do is sell on a loss. But if you're selling on any kind of profit, you did right, man. You did good. That's what it's all about. But you got to hang in there. NorCal is in the house, baby. Shout out to the Dolphin Fan Club, bringing 17 members to Fan Club Weekend. See you October 24 to 29, Big O. Yes, sir. Looking forward to it. Jay Gelfin in the house. We need to score first and defend hard tonight. I predict Panthers 5-3. I like it. Heriberto Hernandez, Sharon, or Jeff in Long Island, says, I hope the Panthers come out and show us they are the desperate team. So do I, sir. So do I. Let's see. Aquavision, Nyborg, Hazel, Has Oliveira. Here's to hoping the Panther victory tonight. John Padilla, Nyborg, like it. Kyle Cockrell's in the house. Fireman is in. He's a little disappointed. Lisa Rose in. Rosendo, God bestow your day with a cup full of positivity, a plate full of desire, and a wonderful slice of success. Thank you, Rosendo. Appreciate you as always, my brother. Key Sec Ops is tuning in from Greece. Wow. I am dying to take the wife to Greece, bro. Dying to take the wife to Greece. That looks like such a beautiful place, man. Such a cool place to hang out. Kyle says, you're right, oh. Supply shock for Bitcoin is coming, plus ETH ETF may kick off. Yes, next month. ETH ETFs are kicking off. So, yeah. Sneak Attack says, I'm not upset about it. I'm trying to get as much as I possibly can right now. Exactly. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. How much Bitcoin did Germany sell? Dude, thousands of Bitcoins. And they confiscated like 50,000 Bitcoin. And they sold a couple thousand, and it just, it shocked the market. So they stopped right now. They're not selling at the moment. They're holding off. So we'll see what happens. It's just stupid people, bro. Just dumb. It could help your country, and you're just the bull run's about. You're a country. You can't hold on to it. Like, it's about to double and triple in just a couple of months. You're going to get rid of money that's about to double and triple. Like, it's just stupid, bro. Stupid. Really, really stupid. Crypto Fins, more than ever, we need Big O to bang that drum tonight. They would have won already if I banged the drum. I mean, you got to have somebody there. It's like a real Panthers fan that bleeds it. But whatever, bro. What are you going to do? Josh says, what up, Sean and O? Let's go Panthers. Bring in Roberto Luongo to bang the drum. It's another good one. Eric Scott, Big O, you're spot on. The whole idea is to get the crowd going. You can't do that when you're 100 years old and disconnected from the fans and organization. Yeah, it's the whole thing. Oh, I know who he's Jack, and I know he lives in South Florida and all that. But come on, dude. It was a horrible move by their part. They put the old man in a bad spot. It's not his fault, but, what are you going to do? Biden has me losing my house. George, all presidents have you losing your house, bro. Try not to be stupid in the process. Okay, my brother, I hope you're able to save your house. But they're all printing money, you moron. The dumbest thing is, because you're a little Republican, so you want to blame the old fart. And then the orangutan printed $8 trillion. You think that didn't create inflation? I mean, George, bro, get a fucking brain, dude. A lot of you, bro, get a brain. You know nothing about politics. You just run your mouth and you know nothing, dude. Nothing. You don't follow shit. You don't know anything that goes on in the economy. You wouldn't understand it if it was a big old boulder and it sat on your ass. Okay, George Bush Jr., Obama, Trump, and Biden created all this inflation. They're the ones that have printed $30 trillion. Both Democrats and Republicans, George, you dumbass. I get tired of repeating the same thing because I keep hearing one stupid person, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, repeat the same stupid shit. God, educate yourselves, please. Stop being lazy and listening to CNN and Fox. Two of the most misinformed networks that exist in the history of mankind. And you morons worship the altar of Fox and CNN. Jesus Christ, dude. Learn to leave the politics out of it. Learn to blame them all, dude. Stop picking your little elephant or donkey side. You just sound stupid. I just want you to know that. When you sit there and just defend Democrats or defend Republicans, you sound stupid. Man. George says, I have a question, buddy. Are you still high on Jasmine long term? I'm locked in at 2.5 cents. George, it's not me, dude. It's you if you're locked on. I haven't sold a goddamn thing. Nothing. Don't ask me, dude. I'm locked in. I'm not selling anything. I didn't sell Ethereum. I didn't sell Polygon. I didn't sell Cardano. I didn't sell Bitcoin. I didn't sell Cosmos. I didn't sell Neutron. I didn't sell Sailor. Nothing. I didn't sell a goddamn thing. Nothing. I'm not out on anything. Nothing. You haven't heard me anything here. I'm all in, baby. But it's you, buddy. You got to do your homework. Do you believe in it? Not me. It's your money. It's your decision, not mine. You can't follow me, George. You got to follow you, bro. Follow your heart, follow your gut, follow your mind. Do your homework. Find out what's going on with Jasmine. Do you believe in it? You know what I mean? So I haven't wavered at all. But, you know, that has nothing to do with your world. You're the one in doubt right now, not me. I have no doubt whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Partnerships continue to develop with Jasmine. A friend of mine asked me the same thing about Star Atlas. And I go to him, no, dude, I'm not doing anything. In fact, you know what I'm doing with Star Atlas? Here's what I'm doing with Star Atlas. Okay. Star Atlas is down now, right? I'm way up on Star Atlas, but still it's on a dip right now, but a sweet dip, but I'm waiting. So what I did was I purchased Solana on Exodus. I staked it. So I'm getting interest. As Solana has dipped some, I've added some Solana in there, right? And I'm waiting for this whole thing. Solana, when it takes off, it's going to take off back to 200. It's like at 130 now. And then I'm going to convert it all and buy Star Atlas. I'm going to buy more Star Atlas. Star Atlas was over a penny. It's under a third of a penny. And it was at 24 cents initially. So I know it's going to get back to over a penny, so I'll triple my money. So what I'll do is first, I'll wait for Solana to climb because it's going to climb up several dollars, $10, $20, $50. That's a lot of Star Atlas because Star Atlas is at right now at 28,000th of a penny, I believe, something like that. So that's going to get me a lot of Star Atlas. So I'm going to wait for Solana to take off. Then I'll sell off my Solana and convert it all to Star Atlas. And then that way I'll end up, because if Solana goes from 130, 140 to 200, how much extra Star Atlas am I going to get? Hundreds of thousands. So I'll wait for Solana to take off again. I'm sure Star Atlas will go up some, but not nearly as much because they are releasing 50 million coins a week, which, by the way, when you print, they're not printing more, but it's part of their supply that they're releasing. But as you release more, the value decreases. Shit, what were we talking about printing money before? When you print 30 trillion, what happens? Oh, okay. So I know that there's going to be inflation in Star Atlas. That's going to keep the price down. Meanwhile, I know Solana is going to explode. So I'll wait for Solana to explode and then convert to Star Atlas and get a ton of extra Star Atlas. Again, you do what you do. I do what I do. And that's it. But you got to admit that's genius. If you can follow what I'm talking about. Kyle says, in crypto, you must do your research. Crypto moves so fast. Some people really need to consider if crypto really is for them. If you can't handle the volatility, maybe it's not for you. Always right. Exactly. Because once you're asking me, oh, yeah, that means you have doubt yourself. And that's where, you know, I can't do that. I can't do anything for you on that. Best motivation speech, and O doesn't even know it. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. All right, let's do it. It is time. Let's talk a little basketball with the one and only Ira Winderman and our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Reporte.
Heat fans, time for the Heat fans. Time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
Ira, good morning, sir. I hope you had a great weekend. The Florida Panthers.
Yeah, that kind of tempered the entire weekend till maybe the most gut-wrenching moment I can recall in hockey in South Florida here probably ever, let alone even the Heat. This type of situation reminds me a little bit of last year with the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. But again, that was just the Eastern Conference Finals, from up 3-0, 3-3, winning in Boston, going on the road where maybe people didn't expect it. There's a Panthers expectation tonight. So it's a little bit different. So I'd say it's more of a pins and needles weekend. And it's just interesting with hockey going this late into the summer that the NBA draft, we're now 2 days away from the first round and has sort of gotten short shrift or forgotten simply because hockey has taken over the stage after, I think, what we both would consider a dud of an NBA Finals.
Yeah, and the thing that I was going to mention to you is that the Panthers, in a sad way, hopefully they avoid it, but you know, I was talking about this in the post-game show. The 9-2 Dolphins were really, really good under Marino and Shula, and they ended up folding and lost 5 straight, and it was a disaster of an end for that season. The 86 Canes that lost to Penn State, that was a team that had a lot of potential and should have won probably. The 2010 Miami Heat, watching J.J. Barea post up LeBron, and we're like, what the hell is going on here? We've seen some really, really ugly finishes to seasons or losses. That's what the Panthers want to avoid, because this would historically be right up there. Which it may be the worst, or it might be right up there with the 86 Canes or the 2010, Miami Heat, because those were devastating.
And even in the bigger scheme, you could look at the undefeated Patriots, what happened against the Giants in the Super Bowl. You could look at the Yankees against the Red Sox as more mainstream sports and what happened there. Yeah. But this is going to garner the type of attention that no one, when the playoffs thought started, Florida and Edmonton, a smaller market in the U.S., a Canadian market, ever would have, because people love the drama. And if nothing else, for the last 7 months, the Panthers have given us high-level drama, culminating tonight at Amerant Bank Arena.
Yeah, man. All right. So what do you think? What's your prediction? They win?
I don't know. I have a feeling. My prediction is this is going to go to overtime, and it's going to turn gut-wrenching to a completely different level of living in the moment, because I just think the Panthers have that kind of fight. But I think Edmonton has shown it absolutely, even on the road now, can play on equal footing.
Let's find out. All right, let's get to it here. I don't know shit about this. I am more than happy to tell you when I don't know something. If I know something, I'll give you my 2 cents. I have no problem with that. But I go, perusing through the websites. Isaiah Collier, Rob Dillingham, Tyler Kolek, Tristan Da Silva. There's no consensus.
Correct.
Miami at 15. So what's your idea of what the hell the Heat are going to do? It seems like a lot of people think point guard is the consensus, that there's more point guards than anything else being picked for Miami at 15. So talk to us about the draft.
Well, it's interesting when you mention point guard, because one, you can make an argument that if you consider Terry Rozier more of a scorer or combo guard, right, and if you consider that both DeLon Wright and Patty Mills leave, the Heat don't have a true point guard. And yet, if you look at the point guards in this draft, they're really all combo guards, which is where the game is going anyway. So maybe you have someone like the size of a Jared McCain from Duke, but he's a shooter. He's a scorer. He's going to be on the floor like Tyler Hero is on the floor to score the ball. You have someone like Isaiah Collier from USC who absolutely attacks the rim on every shot. Again, more of a scoring mentality, but not many contenders, if you consider the Heat a contender, are going to play a rookie in that role anyway. So you're going to either bring back a DeLon Wright or a Patty Mills, or find a lower cost option, something similar to what you gave up in Kyle Lowry to sort of man that. So I know it sounds cliche, and I wrote a story about it today, just posted at sunsentinel.com. I think this really is a draft where you take the best available player from this standpoint. You take the guy who falls to you. So if you have a guy in the top 10 and he's there, perfect example is a little bit lower. Justice Winslow fell to the Heat in that 2015 draft. They didn't work him out. But he was Justice freaking Winslow, who was a top 5 pick on most boards. Sometimes that doesn't work out. Earlier in 2002, Caron Butler fell to the Heat. There was all kinds of rumor about a health problem. That worked out perfectly. So I think the Heat really are in that 5-minute segment from number 14 to number 15. And when the Heat pick, going to see who's left, how they have them rated. And then they have the out-of-the-box options. Then they can say, you know what? We don't know if it's going to work, but maybe we'll go big. Maybe a Zach Edey. Maybe a Kyle Filipowski from Duke. Combo 4-5 kind of player. It's really interesting, Big O, because there are safe picks. There's, like you mentioned, Tyler Kolek from Marquette. People, because he's a left-hander, gets in the paint, compare him to Goran Dragic. Certainly can work with this team. Tristan De Silva out of Colorado, a defender. He can score, maybe not at the three-point level necessarily, but he can give you something. So it's going to be interesting. The Heat keep saying we draft for the future. We draft with the best long-term outlook. But you see what Jaime Jaquez did this past season. You're even seeing just 2 years in what Nikola Jovic did. So I think the Heat are going to try to play it both ways. I think they're going to get a player they see potential with, but because of where the roster is, so top-heavy when it comes to salary, with Bam's extension, potentially with Jimmy, at least his current salary, Tyler Hero's contract, Terry Rozier's contract, I think they also have to think about living in the moment, or they could just disappoint all of us and wind up trading the pick and just saying we're all in on the moment. Really, so many ways they can go when the draft starts the first round on Wednesday night.
Did you think Jimmy Butler wanted to knock the shit out of Ryan Garcia when you saw that video?
Yeah, and the fact they were sitting next to each other, for the people that don't know, they played at a Hustler poker tournament. None of it was their money. So when they're showing Jimmy stuffing the money in his bag, that's all appearance fee. That's all for show and all of that. Jimmy is the kind of guy who always has surrounded himself with his people. You see it all the time, Big O, in his social media. When he goes Instagram Live, you see it. I think it bothered Jimmy. I don't want to say that someone didn't kiss the ring because he doesn't have a ring. But what I'm saying is I think someone talking back to Jimmy, I've tried that. It's not always the most successful approach. I think he was bothered by that. I think he handled it maybe for Jimmy as well as he could. But I think Jimmy's also looking at some social media influencer and saying, who the hell are you? I'm Jimmy freaking Buckets.
Yep. And so if you didn't catch the exchange between Ryan Garcia and Jimmy at a poker event, here you go.
Scream my hands. No, that's it. Appreciate you, dog. Yeah. Appreciate that, bro. A long time ago.
My favorite moment was the Bulls.
Those were some good years.
Yeah, you were cold with it.
Good years. Really good years.
Who do you play for now?
Miami.
I knew it. I don't even know why I asked.
I don't know why they did that. So dumb.
I'm sorry, Jimmy.
What I liked is when he said, who do you play for now?
Yeah.
And how awesome would it have been amid all the trade rumors if Jimmy listed a team other than the Heat? Then I'm sitting here. I got my story for the week. So, yeah, you sort of put him in his face a little. And let's face it, if you want to dig at Jimmy, ask him who he plays for now after he missed a third of the season. Not the worst dig you can get in there, quarter of the season.
No. But see, it's Ryan Garcia. So you kind of like, you know, the guy's a few sandwiches short of a picnic as it is. So you know, he's not really the average person. The average person knows he plays for the Heat. The average person's kind of keep up with it. But Ryan Garcia is, you know, he's not all there, Ira. So it's just funny how out of tune that guy was. I mean,
Believe me, I'm sure Jimmy talked to his people about that, not winding up being spotted in a situation like that. Jimmy is meticulous when it comes to what he chooses to put on social media and how he casts himself. So maybe not one of his best moments, but I'm sure the payoff, whether it was the actual cash he was stuffing in the briefcase or otherwise, he came out just fine.
Oh, he came out great. It's actually a horrible moment, another horrible moment for Ryan Garcia. It just shows that Ryan Garcia Está loco. Anyway, all right. Look, as expected, Caleb's going to opt out of his player option.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why a guy who's projected to make $15 million next season stays in for $7 million, unless there's a wink-wink kind of deal to help the Heat work with their money. And Big O, I just don't see the Heat being able to afford to bring him back unless the Heat go to all these guys, to Caleb, to Haywood Highsmith, and to other guys. We have something brewing. Be patient. We can find the money, whether it's trading Duncan or Tyler or Rozier or the big one, the big fish, Jimmy Butler. You shave off that $50 million, you bring in a $30 million, a Norman Powell, a $20 million player. All of a sudden, you have room to take care of everyone else. So it's again the question of depth versus singular talent. Is he the guy who can lead you to a championship when he plays enough games? I still don't think that Jimmy has had this sit down with Pat Riley that many thought could settle all of this. I don't think that's Jimmy's way. I think Jimmy's way is sort of like we saw in that video. I'm Jimmy freaking Buckets. Of course, I'm the best player you're ever going to have. Of course, you're going to pay me. So I think it will be interesting because stuff moves fast. Wednesday night, the first round. Thursday night, the second round. Saturday, the deadline for player options. Sunday, 6 p.m., the start of free agency. We're here now. We're in the moment. And what we've seen from players before, whether it was Max Strus or Gabe Vincent last year, players aren't going to work on team schedule. Players have to take care of themselves. Because Big O, you see it every year. Free agency starts in the NBA, and just 3 days later, players are looking for money that's not there. If you don't move quickly, whether you're Haywood Highsmith or Caleb Martin, all of a sudden the train might leave town without you. Then you become like Thomas Bryant last year, like Josh Richardson last year, where all of a sudden, okay, I'll just take the best minimum deal possible. So the Heat have to have a sense of what they're going to do in the big moments in July with a Jimmy extension, a Bam extension, probably right now, and I'm sure they do. The problem is they have plan A, plan B, and plan C. I'm not even sure they're sure which of the ways it's going to play out.
Well, because it's out of their control, because like the story that came out last week that apparently, Philadelphia has kind of cooled their interest in Paul George. And the feeling is that Paul George is going to re-sign with the Clippers. And then they started mentioning a couple of other names that weren't Jimmy Butler, overall. So really, if it's not Philadelphia, I don't know who else is going to make a move for Jimmy Butler at this point. So, to me, what do you sense from this whole thing? Is Philly all of a sudden trying to not act like they're really interested, or are they really not interested?
No, they're trying to act like, hey, you want 5 picks, we're going to give you 3 picks. That's all we see now with these teams that have the stashes of picks, how they're going to do it. I do think the Knicks would have interest because I think he would fit with Jalen Brunson. I think the Nets would have interest, and it's a market Jimmy would appreciate because they need to establish relevance. I think the Clippers...
Knicks have cap space?
The Knicks have enough flexibility. Again, you're talking about a trade anyway, so it's not necessarily cap space. If they move off some of their money, probably 3-way deals, the Knicks have a bushel of draft picks. That's what we talked about last year and the possible deals they can move. So
Knicks will end up having to give you back a shitty contract, whereas with Philadelphia, with their picks and the money space that they have, you have a better chance of cutting a deal without taking back any dead weight overall. Whereas
you consider it dead weight. Maybe you consider pieces. I'm not saying I want Mitchell Robinson. That's been rumored out there. You have Josh Hart. You have other Knicks potential pieces you could take back with smaller pieces to make your salary cap work. With the Nets, Mikal Bridges stands out there if they're willing to make a deal. The Clippers are moving into the new arena next season. If Paul George doesn't come back, they have to find a body. I think there's enough teams on their terms who would take on Jimmy. But I think the possible outcome could be, and it's going to be fascinating on our Accurate Pembroke Pines reports, it could be Jimmy just saying, I'm going to go into the final year of my deal. And then does Jimmy play a final year of his deal saying, I'm going to show these MFers how great I am that I'm going to get a contract? Or is Jimmy going to play his final year like in Minnesota or even at the end toward Chicago and say, screw it. You didn't give me the deal. I'll get my money anyway. And I think I'm taking Monday and Wednesday off this week, Friday and Sunday off next week, and we'll get to the end of the season and see how it plays out.
All right. One more thing before I let you go.
Sure.
No, in hindsight, I'm wrong on this.
Really?
Yeah, because when they announced that Caitlin Clark wasn't making the national team, I was like, I'm a traditionalist. I'm good with that. All right, you weren't good enough for it. That's good. That's understandable, dude. The team is super deep. But now as I start to look at it and see that you've got 41-year-old Diana Taurasi on the roster, and like she has nothing left to prove. She has national championships, gold medals. She's an icon in the sport. I get what you're doing by giving her the spot and all that, but women's basketball actually needs, as much Caitlin Clark as possible. Last night, $356 a ticket. Friday night, what's it called? That team, what was it? They play in a 3,500 seat arena that they played on Friday night. Atlanta,
right? The Dream.
They play in a 3,500 seat arena. They moved it over to where the Hawks play for 17,500.
Yeah, they moved from their G League facility yesterday against the Chicago Sky. Tons of celebrities watched some of that game against Andrew Reese. Chicago came back in that one. So I'm paying attention. There always are going to be legacy selections because the one thing USA Basketball is fair and good about, if you commit to them throughout your career, they'll take care of you. That's why Bam, even with this great U.S. Olympic team going to Paris, is on the team because he committed to them in the World Cup, because he played with them. He played select team. He went through the process. That still means something. And I got to tell you, if you consider Caitlin Clark, there are so many either-or suggestions, possibilities.
Christian Laettner didn't deserve it.
No, that was a different thing. That was if the NBA goes, USA Basketball wanted a collegiate. That was sort of the meshing point moving forward. But no, I think it's reasonable. If there's an injury on that roster, again, Cameron Brink, it doesn't matter. That was the 3-on-3 tournament. Caitlin Clark is not eligible. But if something happens between now and then, I agree. Yes, it's definitely a talking point. But the bottom line is this. Caitlin Clark has gotten Orlando Alzagari and Ira Winderman to tune in WNBA games. She's done plenty already. We were going to watch the Olympics already. Doesn't matter as much. She'll be there soon enough.
Yeah, I know she'll be there soon enough. But for women's basketball, in hindsight, I got to say I was wrong on this one. Going traditionalist, not for them. The sport needs the boost, needs every shot possible. And by putting her there, you are going to have your blowout games. You can wheel her out on the blowout games and all that kind of stuff. I just, Laettner was just kind of, that whole thing.
Different time, different era, though. Yeah.
Different, but, it's been done before. And his popularity was huge at that moment because, my God, those 2 years of Duke and UNLV, God, I love you, college basketball in those days. Man, I miss those days. But, that was so special for us as sports fans to watch UNLV for 2 years, so it rolled over his popularity into that. And I get it. And with her, God, she's such a monster, dude. It's amazing the interest I watched the whole game yesterday, the whole game, which I would have never done that normally. I watch WNBA games, but I'll watch a quarter or a half or something, and I'm gone or something. But I really don't sit there from beginning to end and watch it and break it all down and say, Reese and Cardozo just dominated inside.
Right.
Indiana had no answer for him, inside. So it was just, I'm watching the game and I'm seeing the impact that this young lady has had in 2 games over the weekend, the amount of money she made for that league, selling out NBA arenas. That's crazy, dude. Come on, man.
It's definitely good for the sport. I agree.
Yeah, it's great. So you're all right with Taurasi because
I understand how USA Basketball works. They take care of their own, no issue.
Right. Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right. What do you got going on in the Sentinel so folks can check you out, my friend?
I just posted a story. The Heat say they're not drafting by position. I don't believe that. Every mock draft you read says the Heat need this, therefore they might get this player. Spoke to Adam Simon, the Heat draft guru. I went through every position, the 5 positions on the Heat roster: center, power forward, small forward, shooting guard, point guard, and said, okay, but here's what they have left. Here's what might work in the draft. So if I can suggest to the Heat, I'm going to do that. So I offered that up. And then sort of we always annually at draft time look back at ones that got away. So my Ask Ira today was looking back at the Tyrese Maxey pick when they picked Precious Achiuwa, a pick earlier because they had Tyler Hero. And it just shows you that sometimes you do pick for position and you get in trouble because of it. Because if they didn't have Tyler Hero, they almost assuredly would have taken Tyrese Maxey over Precious Achiuwa. So you can say all you want, best player available, but I still think you do look at your roster.
Will the Panthers have a warm body to hit the drum tonight?
You know, it's interesting. I think the choice should be, I don't even know who they picked. I would go with Roberto Luongo. I would go with the franchise's all-time icon and someone of Panthers.
Or Mellenby. I mean, there's a whole...
No, I just think Luongo is the guy.
Actually, Russo corrected me. Michael Russo, he saw my tweet and he DM'd me. He goes, no, hey, dude, Mellenby works for another organization. So I forgot what...
Hey, Billy Lindsay is always in the building doing Radio Color. You can go in that direction also. Sure.
Brian Scrudlin, I don't know. Does he work for an organization? If he doesn't, dude, bring him over. There we go. Let's go. I mean, there are so many great selections.
Well, there are, but there's one name you probably don't want to bring back, and that would be John Van Beesbrook because of what happened after he left. He kind of misspoke on a certain levels. Yeah. So politically correct, probably not the move you want to make before a Game 7.
You got to deal with all of that other shit. So, yeah, you're probably right. You want to deal with somebody. Yeah, Billy Lindsay would be just absolutely – he's right there. Then he just goes back to the broadcast.
Absolutely.
That would be actually phenomenal. But, yeah, get somebody with life, dude. Somebody that will actually pump up the ground. I felt bad for Jack, man. That was like a terrible decision on their part. It's not Jack's fault. You put him in a position like, come on, bro. It's bang the drum, not tap the drum.
Right.
You know,
just show him in the stands. Good enough. I agree.
Exactly. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. Ira, have a fantastic week. Enjoy the draft, my friend. Appreciate it.
And next Monday be the second day of NBA free agency. We'll break it all down on our Acura Pembroke Pines report. Thanks, Big O.
Thank you, sir. There you go. The great Ira Winderman. And visit our friends at Acura of Pembroke Pines. They've got the 16th anniversary sale going on right now. And by the way, if you haven't seen it yet, I mean, they're using DMX in the commercials. X gonna give it to you. The ZDX is there, the electrified one. So go check it out. Go drive it. That thing, man, that thing moves. I mean, that thing hauls ass. It's awesome. Gets like, I don't know, 318 miles or something, which is fantastic. Anyway, go check out the 16th anniversary sale going on right now. 3.9% financing up to 60 months. The 2024 Integra, $319. The 2024 RDX, $419. Go check it out. Tell them that Big O sent you. And if you own or lease a vehicle, Mike Chan or Jordan Ferber will take care of you in the service department. They are absolutely amazing. That's where we take our cars to get serviced. You can too at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All right. Don't forget, as always, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. We get 100% of the donation there. We always appreciate the super chats here, but we only get 70% of the donation there. And you can make a Bitcoin donation on Cash App or Venmo, which on a Bitcoin dip, that's the best donation you can make. Mateo, thank you for the love on the super chat. Can Bob be clutch being the highest paid goalie? Forget about highest paid. He better be clutch. Period. He better be clutch. I know we're on Twitter and on Instagram. Let me go on Instagram. I see J.D. Ming in the house. G Stag 1984, Pinky, T Harris 305 Mud, Jim Hunter. Let's see, Mike Castillo, Haber Roberts, thank you. Oscar out there. Hope the boys can be on the right side of history tonight. I'm with you, Oscar. Giovanni, Alexis Hernandez, Finn Punk. Thank you all out there on Instagram watching us. Bunch of you watching on Instagram. I didn't say all your names, but thank you all out there. Boss's Orders. Mayones. Thank you, all of you out there on Instagram. I appreciate you all as always. Let's see. Skylar Timpton, as a Purdue alum, I selfishly want the Heat to draft Edey. Not all that athletic, but man, you can't teach that size, and we need a true center. Yep, you are correct. The only thing is a true center really worth it nowadays? Ira, we can't trade Duncan now after he developed. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that, but I mean, he has to mention him as an option. I don't want Duncan to go anywhere. I'm with you on that. Garcia knew what he was doing, damn jerk. He said, I don't know, Lord Warden. I think he's kind of crazy and kind of like dumb. So, I mean, look at all the mess he's gotten himself into. He's not the smartest person, you know? Let's see. Axel says, between Tua and Tyreek, the Dolphins will be unable to find a decent defense with their remaining money. They already have a good defense. What are you talking about, dude? They've already signed a good team. And I do have something to say about Tyreek. I'm going to get it off my chest in a minute here. Oilers have figured out the Panthers' defense, says Brent, and zone play and adapted with their long breakout passes and speed. Panthers have not adapted to that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can't catch the chicken like in Rocky. They're too fast for our boys right now. They better. Let's see. Oh, what's your gut say? Isn't Jimmy traded by draft night? I think he is. I think he's traded. I don't know draft night, but I think he gets traded. I don't know about draft night, but I do believe he gets traded. And if he doesn't, it's a shame. They had a chance. Big O, what will it take for the Panthers to win Game 7 at home? How should I come out in the first? Oh, well, dude, they got to come out with their hair on fire. They got to get physical. They gotta check these guys against the boards. They got to stop those long passes, that Brett was talking about. They've got to just wake the hell up. And Bob has got to be Game 1 Bob. Okay? Game 1, Bob won it. He's got to be that guy tonight. You know how that the one guy on the super chat, Mateo, was asking, can Bob be clutch tonight? Bob has to be unstoppable. He has to be on his head and stopping absolutely everything in sight. Okay? What is that? Oh. So they just announced that the Mid-Florida Credit Union, Lauryn Hill, the Fugees, YG Marley. Okay. All right. Not bad. That seems like a pretty good concert. August 9th in Tampa. All right. What else? Lord Warden, thank you, sir. Ocala Joe says, I'm about to turn 62 this year. Do you think the Dolphins will bring us a Super Bowl before I croak? I don't remember the ones in the 70s. I was a kid. I was 7 and 8 years old, bro. Yeah, I'm with you. It's just hard to remember, period, and enjoy. I mean, I've watched it on video, but it's not the same. I hope so, Ocala Joe. I mean, if this group doesn't do it, I don't know, then no, we'll never get it done. Because I think we have the right people in place. Finally. I think we got the quarterback. I think we got the right people in place. We just got to get it done, bro. You know what I'm saying, Joe? We just got to get it done, bro. That's the problem. So we'll see. A little luck. But I'm hoping that these are the guys that can get it done for us. You know? Ryan Garcia isn't the brightest crayon in the box. No, he definitely is not the sharpest tool in the shed. That's for sure. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Ocala Joe, just read your text. Thank you for the love on Cash App. For the man who calls it like it is, thank you, sir. We got a new game coming out on the show. We have just created that it is about calling it like you see it. So it's interesting that you bring that up, my man, because it's exactly what we're going to do. Anyway, thank you, sir. As always, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. True Fin Fan says, I'm not the negative fan type, though. I don't see the Panthers winning at all. I'm hoping my gut feeling is wrong. Go Panthers. You know, True Fin Fan, it's 3 in a row, my brother. It's hard to feel confident right now. It's hard. I get it. All right, let's take a quick break. Let's do it. Hour number 2. When we come back, I'm going to tell you, let's talk a little Dolphins. Let's turn the page here. And don't forget, by the way, to smash the hell out of the like button, please. Smash the hell out of the like button. Let's talk a little Dolphins because this Tyreek situation is very interesting. And it's repetitive. It's something that you have actually, it's a bridge you've crossed. It's a conversation you've had. You just don't realize it. We will do that next. Hour number 2, driven by the man, the myth, the legend, that is Sean Stanley. He masters this platform right here on the Sports Talk 305 network.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 16 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new 2024 MDX, $469 a month during our 16th anniversary sale.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Take a journey to our Caribbean paradise at Toyota of Hollywood. Get in the groove with great deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a Corolla, not $24,000, just $17,975. You'll be cruising and chilling with super low 2.99% financing. Feel the rhythms of the Caribbean today at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. There we are, hour number 2 of the program. I see Anthony says, Big O cheers from Greece, Santorini. Wow, 2 people from Greece watching today. 2 different people from Greece. That's crazy stuff. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate you out there. Hour number 2 has kicked off. Thank you all as always. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Sean, let's do it. Oilers defeated the Panthers on Friday night 5-1 to even the series 3-3 tonight. Game 7, it ends. Season ends. Someone wins. Someone's a champion, and someone will be heartbroken. Let's hope we're the ones that are champions here tonight, and our team wins. 8:20 face-off. We will be back for our post-game show. Hopefully a very happy one, not a pissed-off one, because we're going to be pissed off if they lose. 8:20 is the face-off for that one. Copa America, the United States defeated Bolivia 2-0. Christian Pulisic scored the goal in the 3rd minute, and Folarin Balogun scored in the 44th minute. 2-0 win for them in Copa America. Saturday, Inter Miami is back in action. They were off this weekend. They will take on Nashville on the road. So let's see if they get it done. Miami is number 1 in the league with 41 points. Nashville is in 7th place with 26 points. So let's see if the boys can continue their winning ways without Messi and Suarez and Rojas, which has been impressive. 3A Graphics, man, you want to call Alan Blanco of your company. Wants, you need some custom printing and embroidery right there. That's their embroidery right there. Our shirts, our hats, all made. And there you go. Here we go. Here we go. You can get this one. Bring the Fins logo back. Since I'm about to talk Dolphins. You want to check out his work, go to our website, our merch page. The screening is amazing. The embroidery is awesome. So if you need uniforms or hats or shirts or whatever it is you need for your business, please call 3A Graphics. Support the amazing people that support us. 786-618-1443. Heriberto says, Big O, thank you for the cap. Nice penmanship. I tried, man. I tried my best. I just did Jose Ocala Joe. I just signed your hat over the weekend. I'm waiting for the colors to come in and the dry fits to send your hat with that stuff. But I know I signed your hat too over the weekend. So remember, if you guys buy either the Bitcoin or the Big O Show hat, and if you want me to sign it, make a note in the receipt there that you want me to sign it, or that's the best way. You can send me an email at bigoradioshow@yahoo.com, but try to put it in the receipt. That way I don't forget, because that's what I did with Eddie Beto. I accidentally forgot, and so I then sent it to him. So anyway, so if you get a chance, please, if you want me to, make sure you put the note there, and I'll definitely sign the hats. I ended up buying a silver marker specifically to sign the hats. So if you guys want it, we will definitely do that. No problem whatsoever. All right, let's get into a couple of things. First of all, Connor Williams. And Connor's coming back from the ACL, and the way that Drew made it sound, and Drew even said it yesterday, that he thought Connor would be out longer, actually. He didn't think Connor was going to make it back this soon. And apparently Connor has made it back and is going to be ready to go to training camp for a team. Now, Drew did the good thing that every agent does. He sold it, and many teams interested, and yada, 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 and all that crap. So the question is, should Miami go after him? Now, here's where, it's kind of interesting, because the way Drew made it sound is like Connor wants to start. At this point, he's got no shot at starting, because pretty much everybody has set their team and who they think is going to be their starter. So the most he's going to do is be competition or a backup for anybody at this point. He's coming back from a brutal injury. He must have had more damage than just a ligament, by the way. Okay, the way they made it sound, I'm not a doctor or anything, but the way he made it sound, it's not just ligament, because you don't freak out only with a ligament. You start freaking out when there's cartilage damage and stuff like that, okay? So there must be something there, but he's able to come back, which is great news. And I've been asked many, many times over, do you think we should go try to sign Connor Williams? And I say, yes. Now, you're going to end up having to give Tua a deal. You're going to have to give Holland a deal, right? So you got to make sure you can accommodate all of that, which I think, we'll get to the Tua and the Tyreek stuff and all that. And the Tyreek stuff, too, for this year. We'll get to that also. So you can do it. I think you can pull it off, because he can't command a lot of money. He's going to have an incentive-type laden deal. And that's the kind of deal that Brendan Shore and company are experts at. And the only thing is the whole mental aspect of all of this. He was your starter, and now he's coming back to be your backup. There's something odd about that. So that's the part that's kind of is held against you. I think that the one break that you get if you're the Dolphins to try to get him back is if there really isn't that much interest out there. And if the money isn't great that's out there being offered, and you can offer something similar with the no tax state and all that kind of stuff, and he knows the system, this might be the better place for him to take the contract. But if somebody's out there and they're offering him half decent money, which is something that Miami's not going to offer, I don't think it happens. So I would tell you that there's a very slim chance that Connor Williams comes back because of the awkwardness of the situation, and because eventually he'll find enough money to lure him somewhere else. But would I? Yeah, if it's a reasonable number, because he is coming back from a serious injury, I can't sign him to much. So, yeah, I would do it for depth purposes and experience and everything. Hell yeah. He's a good player, and he can help you out at guard too. But I think it's very slim to none that he comes back to Miami. There's a chance. Little chance, but not much. Not much on Connor Williams. By the way, Welton Rayom, a proud sponsor of our program. We love talking about Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom. And, folks, we are now in hurricane season. We just had a storm. We're going to continue to have some storms. In fact, this week we're going to have moments where you're going to get some heavy downpours. And, because there's a lot more heat in the atmosphere, the showers are a lot stronger. Go ask our friends in Wisconsin. Go ask our friends in Iowa. Okay? Go ask our friends in Germany. I mean, you could just go look at the news all over the world, and it doesn't have to be a hurricane. And so water damage is happening all over. Floods, all kinds of water damage. Doesn't have to be a pipe breaking, but it could be. Call Welton Rayom. Before you even call the insurance company, they have their own adjusters. They will send their adjusters, and then they will call the insurance company and handle it all for you. No headaches for you. Okay? Only heaven. You pick up the check with them. That's it. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo defense, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Jeff Welt, Daniel Rayom, they know what they're doing. I've seen it firsthand. So many of our listeners, okay, and a couple are already in the process now also. Okay, so we've had a lot of listeners that have had success with Welton Rayom. We have a couple that are in the process right now with Welton Rayom. Call them 954-966-4646. Even if nothing's happened right now, save it on that cell phone because God forbid something does happen. That's the first number. You don't want to call the insurance company. You call Welt and Rayom, 954-966-4646. Big O, Marcelo Hernandez from SNL is the rumor for drum banger tonight. Young Cuban comedian from Miami should bring lots of energy, even though not everyone will know him. I know who he is, and he does a good job on Saturday Night Live, by the way. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of pressure for the young man. Better come through big. It's good shit. If that's the guy, good for him. I would have gotten a former Panther player, but what can I tell you, dude? You know? Connor Williams is a Chris Greer low-hanging fruit special. Yeah. Yeah. That is a low-hanging fruit if I've ever seen one. Can never have too many quality offensive linemen and cornerbacks. Never. Amen? You are correct, Pat. No way Williams comes back to Dolphins after not getting an extension last season. I think it's more about the awkwardness than anything else. So, how'd the U.S. men's not score 10 goals yesterday? They had so many opportunities. Well, we're not that good. So, you know, you can't leave that part out that we're not that good. You know what I'm saying? Tony Zagales, thank you for sending a little Bitcoin for the dip, he says. Thank you, Tony. Very nice of you, my man. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. I appreciate all of you out there as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And sending a Bitcoin donation. Hey, man. We love that. Love that. That's big time. That's big time. So there you go. Although, Ocala Joe, your donation was converted to Bitcoin. So you did it too. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, sir. Immediately converted to Bitcoin to take advantage of the dip. So thank you, sir. I appreciate it as always. What do we got here on, let me see, on Instagram. Let's see. Maximus Cojones says, what's up, champ? Wearing the Big O Show cap today. Let's go Panthers. Thank you, sir. Thank you for purchasing. Thank you, thank you. Sean put up the billboard there so people can check out our merchandise department. Shirts and hats, all kinds of stuff. Blind Ass Fan shirts, 305 shirts. Bring back the old logo shirts, all kinds of stuff. So appreciate it, Maximus. What we know about this front office handling the business side of football is that they don't throw money away. They're always thinking of the future. Sign Williams if you can. Love this front office. I'm with you. I'm with you. And speaking of this front office, let's get into the Tyreek situation. As you all know, I told you I think this is Tyreek's final year. No insight, and I'm not telling you, oh my God, people in the building are talking to me, which, you know, sometimes I get information from the building. But for me, there's an opt-out there in the contract. Plus, he's had a whole ton of off-the-field issues and all that. You can't trust him off the field. That's for sure, because he's liable doing something stupid any moment. So I've told you, maybe they could give him some, guarantees this year to, kind of appease him for this year. And then you tell me, yeah, we'll talk extension next year, and then you just move on. That's kind of what I think is going to end up happening. If they even give him some guarantees this year, but maybe they will just to, shut him up like they did with X, and then they still moved on. Kind of the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So we start thinking about this, and some of you ask me, oh, well, so do you still think they'll let him go? And yeah, I do. I believe he's gone after this season because of the window. And here's the other thing. While I didn't tell you that Jimmy Butler was gone, I did tell you that X was gone 2 years ahead of time. But here's what I told you what I would have done with X 3 years ago, right? I would have traded him. So you have lived this. Okay? You've lived this a couple of times now. Do you want to live it a third time? You watch Jimmy Butler get old. Now you owe him a whole bunch of money for 2 more years. The dude wants an extension, and he can't even play during the regular season anymore. His body is so bad that he has to pace himself in the regular season, and you're only good enough to make it to the play-in nowadays because your star doesn't play. So, as I said a couple of years ago, this is the time to trade Jimmy Butler. And I was right. Yeah, I know it was a nice playoff run last year, and you had none this year. But the bottom line is you're not going anywhere with this guy because he can't help you anymore. He's not that guy anymore. You got lucky the year before with the Giannis and the Embiid injuries. Enough already. Whatever, dude. Spo's amazing. So you should have gotten rid of Jimmy Butler. Now you're having trouble. Now let's hope you could get rid of him, because being stuck with him for 2 more years at that money is ridiculous. And giving him an extension would be catastrophically stupid. So X 3 years ago had 10 interceptions. You remember what I told you then? Get off the gravy train right now. The guy's getting up in years. He's had a whole bunch of injuries. He's had off-the-field issues. He gives you trouble all the time about money. Now's the time, after the 10 interceptions, to go trade him to a team. You would have been able to get something. You failed. I rarely disagree with this front office. That was one that I disagreed with. Not hindsight. If you listen to the show, you know I said to trade X 3 years ago after the 10 interceptions. You know I said to trade Butler last year. And now I'm telling you, you need to part ways with Tyreek at the end of this coming season. Why? He's now approaching 30. You've gone through 2 years of 1,700 yards each, a crap ton of targets, wear and tear. This year, you're going to add another 1,500 and a crap ton of targets. How long do you think the gravy train's going to last? The gravy train for Jimmy Butler is done. The gravy train for X is done. Are you going to be the dumb fan again? Because I got all that shit from a lot of you on it. No, oh, you can't trade X. No, oh, you can't trade Jimmy Butler. That's why doing this show, you can't do it I am a fan. You see it all here. No media member does this. So I'm openly a fan of all the teams. But I have to do this job objectively. And objectively, if you're the Dolphins, the smartest thing you do, maybe give them a little money guaranteed this year to shut them up. but you don't extend him or continue this whole, because it's only going to go like this. It doesn't continue like this when you get older. It didn't for X, it didn't for Jimmy Butler, and it will not for Tyreek Hill. You've lost this battle twice with me. Okay? I was right on both accounts. You've got to get off the gravy train before it breaks down. The Jimmy Butler train already broke down. To get off of it is going to be near impossible. The X train broke down a while back, and you had no shot at getting off of it. You had to release him. You really can't trade Tyreek that bad. You know, I don't think there's going to be a ton of people giving you a whole bunch of stuff. They might give you something because he is supremely talented. But for how long? How long do you play with fire? So that's what I'm trying to explain to you all, why I see, okay, that it makes 0 sense to keep Tyreek Hill after the 2024 season. Because that means you are going to make a longer commitment, and it's not just 1 year. You're going to be committed for several because of bigger cap hits down the line. You don't want to be involved in that. So if you have to slide him an extra couple of mil this year in guarantees to shut him up, do it, because you do need him this year. He's still great for this year. But you keep going, it's gonna run out on you, and then you're screwed. Now you're locked into salaries. Now you're taking cap hits, and you can't afford when you've got others that you've got to pay. So I just want to kind of clear up, so Dan, why you've got to move on from Tyreek and why it would make sense after the 24 season. Okay? And I want to kind of explain it so you understand that I've had this conversation with you guys before. 2 times. 2 times. We had it a year ago with Jimmy Butler, and we had it 3 years ago with X. And these conversations are had ahead of time. You don't have those conversations after the fact when you're now in the position that you are now with Jimmy Butler, that you were with X-Man. It's too late then. You're in the shit then. You're done. So he's been phenomenal. He's been volatile on and off the field. You've played with fire. You've gotten burned already. He's also, by the way, he's not really extremely reliable on the field too, by the way. Considering how great of a talent he is, how much money you're paying him, he tends to fail in big moments at times. So milk it for 1 more year. You do more than that, you're going down the path of X and Jimmy Butler. Good luck to you. But some tells me that if you go in that direction, we're going to have the same conversations we've had before. I told you so. Right? That's going to be the conversation. I told you so about Jimmy Butler. I told you so about X. It's going to be the same conversation about Tyreek Hill if you do anything that you commit over the 24 season. It'll be, I told you so, because of some stupid thing you did off the field, or because the talent starts going like this, because Father Time is absolutely undefeated. So there you go. That's my Tyreek Hill comment, and I'm sticking to it. Roderick says, good morning, Big O and Sean. Sure, I would extend Jimmy Butler if he could play as many games as hockey players. Since he can't and won't, not a chance. Exactly. it's stupid to still have him on the roster. They should have traded him last year. You know what I'm saying? So you better move his ass. Forget extending. You better move him. He's not worth what you're paying him now. Tyreek Hill not being a Dolphin in 2025 looks more realistic than people want to admit. There's a reason they never extended his money for the future to create cap space. Yep. So we'll see. Dolphins will be better on offense, I feel, once the Cheetah leaves. Well, yes. And while I'm a Tua guy, okay, you guys know I'm a huge Tua guy, and I'm a Tua believer. But two things. One thing that I did not like about Tua last year, and I've mentioned this several times, he forced too many interceptions. And a lot of them was forcing it to Tyreek. And while I think the coach is Tyreek dependent, I think the quarterback is too. So you've got to do a better job also of not being Tyreek dependent, just like Mike McDaniel. Because it can't all be Mike McDaniel. Has to be some from Tua. And by doing that, you also forced yourself into turnovers. So you'll get better if Tua also spreads the ball around more. You can't force it into Tyreek all the time. The Ravens example before halftime is perfect. Terrible force by the coach, even worse force by the quarterback. No reason for the coach to rush to get that down. You had 2+ minutes. You were at their 40-yard line. You had a world of time. You rush to the line, and then what does Tua do? He forces a ball into Tyreek, and you got your turnover. So terrible decision by the coach, even worse decision by the quarterback. That's very fixable because that's not something that, is in Tua's game normally. But he kind of got a little antsy last year where he forced shit a little too much. So what can I tell you, folks? All right, where are we at here on Bitcoin? Still stuck at 61, low 61,000s? Yes, 61,244. Let's see. Tyreek needs to hold on to the ball and have less drops this year. Big time. Curious as to what type of draft capital would Greer would possibly procure if trading Cheetah in 25. I don't know, dude. Brian, I'm not wasting my time with silliness like that. I'm telling you, you release him at that time. That's your out. Not trading him. You release him. Okay. That's like some, the same stupidity that somebody sent me yesterday. Well, would you trade the Panthers' chances for a Stanley Cup tomorrow for a Dolphins Super Bowl? And I'm like, well, there's nothing realistic about that hypothetical, so why would I entertain it? Is Will Smith about to appear as a genie and tell me Panthers championship or Dolphin championship? Which one? You got to pick. No. I don't think that's possible. So I'm not getting into those hypotheticals. I'm not really a hypothetical guy. It's just silliness. Especially when they're unrealistic. So I'm not going to entertain a 25 trade when, I'm telling you they should release him. Period. You can't hang on to him. I hate to say it, but I fear that he is a guy that is, close to wearing down. Because he puts he puts so much on his body And I know the Dolphins do a great job of trying to keep him from himself, from, setting himself back at times. But what was it? He had that ankle and he did a backflip. He's not the brightest bulb in the chandelier at times. And he has put a lot of wear and tear on that body, and it's not a big body. I just think you're playing with fire. And when you have another season where he gets all that wear and tear and everything that he's done in Kansas City, and now here, it just gets to a point where the cumulative effect of it's going to rear its ugly head at one point. And when it does, dude, that shit comes out of nowhere and it dominates. Like, the drop-off becomes obvious and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's what I fear with him. I fear that with Tyreek, the drop-off is around the corner. I hope it's not this year, but it's pretty close. And when it happens, his value will plummet, dude. Because he doesn't have another skill set like a bigger receiver that can be a little bit more crafty and use his body and those kind of things. He's a smaller receiver. So he needs that speed and cutting ability that he has, because that's what gives him that extra edge that he has. Once he loses that speed and cutting ability, he's not the same guy anymore. And so I just worry about Tyreek. And that's why I say, once you start getting into the 30s, especially with receivers, they don't age well. Receivers don't age well, man. Sometimes backs, they can age all right into their early 30s. But receivers, they rarely age well into their 30s, dude. It's just so rare. Let's see, what else do we have here? Chiefs won 2 championships after he left. It can be done. Yeah, no, of course it can be done. Definitely can be done. But it's up to, the team to get it done. Players, coaching staff, front office, all of that. Of course it can be done. Shit, man. Giants won a Super Bowl with Ingram and Phil McConkey as their wide receivers. Different era of football, but my point is, they didn't have elite receivers or anything like that. In this league, in this NFL, you kind of need it. You kind of need it. Big O, can you name one former Dolphin receiver that played with Tua that has been successful somewhere else? It's too. I don't know what argument you're trying to create, but Tua's only been here a couple of years, dude. It's not really. That's not a relevant question at the moment, dude. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been here long enough that, like, he's built up and then somebody else. He's only been here a few years. I barely even count the 2 years with the 3 years with Flo. Because, Jesus, that was a detriment to his development, overall. There's not enough sample size for all of that. We need 7-10 years of him playing, and then you can see several receivers leave and see if they can have less success or more success or the same success or anything like that. All I know is that if you play with him, you'll have success. You know what I mean? As long as you're not a tight end, because somehow or another our head coach doesn't like tight ends. We'll see this year if that changes. Anyway, Tyreek runs himself crazy with all the motions, although he does well avoiding the big hits. Yes, he does. That he does. What's up, Big O? Tell the Venetian pool story. I have lots of Venetian pool stories. Okay? Now, if you're talking about, any Hawk Tua type stories in the caves, well, that's a whole different ballgame. By the way, it's not true that she's a teacher and got fired. The Hawk Tua girl. I have no idea what she does, but apparently that wasn't true, that story. Because there's some story going out there that the Hawk Tua girl was a teacher and she got fired. Because although I can see where, a school system fires you after that video just because, it's so we got the Oilers cans, babe. She got a Playboy contract. Okay. And then the Hawk Tua girl. Well, I hope she makes some money from this because that shit was funny. Gotta give her credit, bro. Gotta give her credit. That was funny. That was good shit. Let's see. Watch the Sky and the Fever yesterday. 88-87, the Sky win. Too much Reese and Cardozo. They didn't have any answers for inside. The two big girls just dominate. Clark was fantastic on the outside. She had 4 steals yesterday. 17 points, 13 assists, 6 rebounds, 4 steals. She shot 5 of 9 from three-point range. She played a great game. She should have had like 18 assists. The same thing happens to her in the WNBA that happened to her in Iowa. Her mind and her eyes are so ahead of her teammates. She sees shit. I don't know how many passes they screw up of hers. But they are, it's like I have fun watching the league, but it's not a league where it's of great finishers yet. They have to sharpen that part up. But for her, my God, they leave so many assists on the court every night that she plays. Iowa, right? Iowa or the WNBA. Doesn't matter where she plays. It's like her teammates, they're not ready for any passes. And she puts passes where she leaves you nothing but just lay it up and finish the play, and you can't even do that. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. And then on Friday, the Dream play in a 3,500 seat arena. 3,500. So on Friday, they moved it to where the Hawks play, 17,500. Just for Caitlin Clark. It's crazy, dude. They play at the Gateway Center Arena in College Park, 3,500. And then it's 17,500. That's why I'm telling you, I was wrong on Caitlin Clark not being in the U.S. women's team for the Olympics. I was wrong. Her popularity is so ridiculous that it brings so much attention. She should have been put on the national team. I was wrong about that. Definitely wrong about that. She is incredible, dude. Incredible what she does for that league. It's crazy. Let's see. If the Cats were to lose tonight, could that be considered a reverse sweep? It's just a big-ass choke job. It's one of the biggest choke jobs in the history of mankind. Big O, would you trade una vaca frita for una cola de buey plate? Give me una palomilla and drop all of that. How about that? I know you like Kiss. You ever seen the Gene Simmons vault? I saw it. I had Gene Simmons on for an interview to talk about the vault, and we gave away a vault. How about that? I didn't win it. I wish I would have won it. But yeah, I know about the vault. Would love to own a vault. But no. Unfortunately, no. Any chance you could do an entire smoke show one day? What does that mean, bro? What's a smoke show? I don't understand that. Is that like you want us to talk about women? Smoke show women? Do you want me to like smoke a cigar? Do you want me to smoke joints or something? I don't know what you want me to do it at a dispensary? You got me on that one. I don't know what that means. Smoke show. Oh, like do the show at the Big Smoke? I don't know. You gotta specify what kind of smoke you're talking about, dude. Big O, in your opinion, have the Dolphins gotten better as a team to beat the Chiefs, Ravens, 49ers, Buffalo? Yeah, they're good enough to beat those teams if they're healthy and if Mike McDaniel is a better game day coach. Yes, they're good enough to beat those teams. They've got to be healthy, but yes, they are. Let's see. While the women here, dimes in every corner. If Panthers game is at 3 a.m. today, I will stay up. Wow. So the women are hot in grease. There you go. Nice. Caitlin Clark should come out to Jealous Again by the Black Crows. Hey, you know what? I was happy that the Chicago Sky and some of their players didn't do anything stupid, because that's the part that this league, I mean, the WNBA might be the dumbest professional league in the world. They're the only ones that try to go, they go out of their way to hurt their meal ticket. That's like MLS players going at Messi's knees or shit. You know? Like, yo, guys, yeah, you're playing in football stadiums now. Yeah, you don't want to do that with Messi. I mean, the WNBA, I mean, these are some dumb-ass people, bro. You get somebody that comes to your league and brings this kind of incredible attention to your league, and you're trying to hurt the person? So I was glad that, you know, a couple of the moronic Chicago players like Reese and what's the name of the other girl that's really good? She's a good player, but an idiot, you know, especially that dirty shot she took. Yeah, you know, it was nice to see that they weren't doing any of that crap last night or yesterday afternoon in that game. That was the one thing that I commend them on. I mean, go look around the arena. You're playing in an NBA arena. It's jam-packed because of her. Don't be an idiot. I mean, seriously. WNBA, what a stupid freaking league, bro. Dumbest freaking league in all of pro sports. Dumbest freaking league. Holy shit. I'm not saying all of them, but they got a lot of dumbass people in that league. Anyway. I'm just picturing that Hawkins girl waking up from the hangover the next day and seeing that she went viral for it and doesn't remember saying any of it. She was funny, dude. She's a trip. Best way to get over one is to get under another. And who is Pookie is the question. Pookie from New Jack City? That's the only Pookie I know. I don't have any other Pookies in my life. There's only one Pookie in my life, and that's the character Chris Rock played in New Jack City. So I don't know who that is. Let's see. He wants the smoke. Oh, put them paws up. Oh, I see. Big O, do you think Sybil Shepherd in the movie Taxi Driver is... Yeah, dude, please. Young Sybil Shepherd is one of the more beautiful women ever, bro. That's like, go look at young Angie Dickinson. Woo, doggy. Oh, my God. Young Linda Evans. Woo, doggy. Yes. Are you kidding me? Sybil Shepherd? She was a drop-dead gorgeous woman, bro. She was still beautiful in Moonlighting, and she was a little older then. And beautiful in Moonlighting. But if you go even younger, Sybil Shepherd, like you're talking about, Taxi Driver and all that. Oh, my God, yes. Yes, 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 yes. By the way, Moonlighting, maybe the best interaction between two co-hosts ever was Maddie and what was his name? Maddie was the woman, was Sybil, and what was his character's name in Moonlighting? Anyway, those two, the back and forth that they had, it was awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That was a really good show. That was a funny show, and just the quick wit stuff that went back and forth. That was really, 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 really good. Pookie was the last guy she was with. The guy said, "What's your message to the last guy you were with?" Yeah, I know, but who is he? You know? So, somewhere JFK smiling from above. I don't know. A young Angie Dickinson was the definition of smoke show. Oh, yeah. Young Angie Dickinson was amazing, dude. Freaking amazing. Big O, have you ever watched Allison Hagendorf's interview with rock stars on her show? Good stuff. No, I have not. I have not seen that. Yeah, you mentioned music. Let me get to a little music here, too, on the show. What the hell? What the hey? What the ho? What the hell? Let's see. We start off with some birthdays today. Musicians' birthdays. Let's see. All right, now we got it. Solange Knowles, born on this date in 1986, really known more for her elevator escapade with Jay-Z. I'm joking. Anyway, happy birthday to her. She was born in 1986 on this date. Let's see, what else do we have? Richard Sven Krups, lead guitarist for the German rock band Rammstein, born in 1967 on this date. Kurt Smith, born in 1961 on this date. Singer, musician for Tears for Fears. 1959 on this date, Andy McCluskey was born, from OMD, Electricity, and others. Enola Gay. 1957 on this date, Jeff Cease was born, guitarist with the Black Crowes. John Isley, musician, bass guitarist for the rock band Dire Straits, born on this date in 1949. Mick Fleetwood, drummer and co-founder of Fleetwood Mac. Mick Fleetwood was born on this date in 1947. Colin Blunstone, singer-songwriter for the Zombies, born on this date in 1945. And Chris Wood, musician and founding member for the English rock band Traffic, was born on this date in 1944. He also worked with Jimi Hendrix in 1968, appearing in Electric Ladyland, also for Free and Small Faces. We lost him in 1983 due to pneumonia. And born on this date, the great Jeff Beck, 1944. He was born on this date. Unfortunately, we lost him back in 2023. Bacterial meningitis infection at a hospital. He was 78 years old. Those are musicians born on this date. Let's go with some other famous people born on this date, like Lionel Messi, who was 37 years old today. Darwin Nunez, soccer player, is 25. Let's see. Candace Patton, actress, 36. Mindy Kaling, actress, 45. JJ Redick, basketball player, 40. Erin Moriarty, actress, is 30. Minka Kelly, actress, 44. Tommy Lister was born on this date in 58. We lost him in 2020. And that is it. Sean, do we have any wrestlers born on this date, sir?
We do. We have Jessamine Duke, Luchador Ray Horace. We have Raw GM Adam Pearce, and the great Tom Lister Jr. You know him as Debo. We knew him as Zeus in wrestling. And, of course, he passed away in 2020, but he was born on this date.
All right. And Bitcoin is now under 61 at 60,755. Great time to make a Bitcoin donation to the show. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Let's go with music history. In 96, on this day, Van Halen announced that Sammy Hagar had left the band and that David Lee Roth was back as temporary replacement. In 2007, the White Stripes' final album, Icky Thump, went to number 1 on the UK album charts, but only made it to number 2 in America. Well, they did 1 and 2. In 99, on this date, Eric Clapton put 100 of his guitars up for auction to raise money for the Crossroads Center rehab facility. The sale made $5 million for the center. In 2001, Blink-182 scored their second number 1 album with Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. A court found Led Zeppelin not guilty of stealing the opening chords to Stairway to Heaven from a band's Spirit song, Taurus. In 92, Billy Joel received his high school diploma from Hicksville High School on Long Island, New York. He failed to graduate with his class in 67 because he missed gym and English credits. In 2008, a blogger who posted tracks from Guns N' Roses' Chinese Democracy got a visit from the FBI and a cease and desist letter. And that's what happened today in music history. As for the Powerball, which tonight we're hoping the Panthers win, you have a chance to win the Powerball. Why? Because tonight's Powerball jackpot will be worth an estimated $84 million after 0 players matched all 6 numbers during the $73 million drawing on Saturday night. 4, 15, 4, 5, 15, 32, and 62. Powerball number is 21. Good luck to everyone. All right. There you go. Addison, David Addison. That's it. David Addison. Way to go. Thank you, Gus. Appreciate you. Let's see. Bruce Willis, when he had a nice, there's a lot more serious things with Bruce going on than his hair, dude. He actually wore the bald look. He sported the bald look good. He did a good job with the bald look. Some of us, you never know, man. Some of us can't sport the bald look, and some of us can. He was one that actually looked good bald. But it's the other stuff that's going on with Bruce now that's really sad. So, yeah. Let's see. What else do we have? Happy birthday, Jack Dempsey. The Manasseh Mahler. Okay. Bradley Chubb is 28. Oh, Well, happy birthday to Bradley Chubb. He wasn't on that list. Okay. Big O, who's a bigger scumbag, Adrian Broner or Pac-Man Jones? I'm going to go with Broner. I think Pac-Man is kind of misunderstood at times. Oh, man. If I was an NFL QB, I'd hold out for more winning Powerball money. Yeah, that would be a good one there to hold out for. Little extra Powerball money. That would definitely do it for me. So tonight, man, Panthers, everything is on the line. The trust will be all gone. You lose tonight, you will never be taken seriously again as a franchise until you start doing something like winning these kind of moments. How screwed up is that? Think about that. That's how bad it is for the Panthers. Everything. Their entire reputation is on the line. You lose today, you lose confidence, you lose money because you're not going to sell nearly as much stuff as you used to. You're not going to sell the same amount of tickets that you normally would. It's a huge setback. As I talked about on Friday night, I love my Dolphins, but we've been known as just a choking bunch of team, a team that's choked for 40 plus years. I mean, Marino and company were 9-2 at one point, and they went and lost 5 straight. That's how bad it's been. Some of you make it out to be like it's just a Tua thing when it's been an entire franchise thing for 40 plus years. They're not trusted by anybody. Not with Marino, not with any of the slapdicks that went after Marino, and not with Tua. I know, short memory, you want to blame Tua for everything. But this has been going on forever. And the Panthers, do you want that? Because that's what's going to happen if you lose tonight. If you lose tonight, it'll be same old, same old. And they won't take you serious at all anymore. Doesn't matter what you do and what you're accomplishing. Because if you can't win it in a season like this, where you proved you were one of the best teams in the league, where you dominated all the competition in the Eastern Conference, where you were dominating the Stanley Cup, and all of a sudden, after winning 3 straight, you go and lose 4 straight, it just kills everything. So if the Panthers want to earn people's trust, because that's what they were doing up until this point, but this is how fans are. If you don't come through, then they start looking at you like, yeah, no way. They can't get it done. A lot is on the line, dude. A ton is on the line, because if you don't get it done, oh, man. It's not going to be a fun place. Not for the Panthers, not for the ownership, not for the front office, not for the coaching staff, and not for those players. Oh, my God, they're going to have to live with that. They're going to be the joke of the NHL. This shit hasn't happened since like 1944 or something crazy. It was 4 different worlds ago in 1944. We're going to be back tonight. We'll be here for the post-game show. Okay? So I hope you guys join us out here for the post-game show after. And, if they win, we'll do our best to find, sound and post-game sound and all that kind of stuff will stay on a little bit more, okay? Instagram, let me see who's a bigger waste of money, Jimmy or Tyreek. No, Jimmy right now is a bigger waste of money. Tyreek can still help you out. Tyreek helps you out throughout the season, whereas Jimmy cannot help you out anymore during the season. Let's see. What else do we have here? They need to draft Peter Peroni for real. Peroni will be a top 25, top 15 pick. Can McDaniel's offense run effectively without Ty speed? Yeah, of course they can. Does he not read Instagram comments? I just did. I heard Pookie's a guy named Mike Monaco. Okay. Well, that's probably wrong. Usually when it starts with I heard, that means you got it from some bullshit place like Facebook. Good morning, you all. The Panthers got to have the heart tonight. They got to have all the desire to win, says DJ Ozone. Yes, they do. Big O, if the Panthers lose today, says Tony, which they will, does Paul Maurice still keep his job? Yeah, of course he does, bro. Definitely. But will you trust Paul Maurice? No. Will you trust the Panthers? No. That's what's going to happen. You will not be taken serious if you lose tonight. You can't lose a World Series, a Stanley Cup, up 3-0, bro. You can't. You can't dominate the Eastern Conference playoffs, dominate the Stanley Cup, and then all of a sudden choke and lose 4 straight. This is a collapse of monumental, impact. This is one that will F with you mentally for a long time to come. And every time you're in some kind of a, difficult situation moving forward for this group, you're going to question yourself because look what happened in the biggest moment of your life. The most important moment of your sporting life, you fucking choked like a dog. Sorry to be so, brutal about it, but I have to be. Losing tonight, man, just the ripple effects of it. It's not good, man. It's not good. It just creates all kinds of mistrust from outside and from inside. The kind of mistrust that you may have to break some of it up to kind of, try to exorcise the demon. It's bad, bro. It's bad. And, you brought most of these guys back and then added some pieces. And this is what happens. Up 3-0. Yeah, that's not good for Paul Maurice. It's not good for anybody. Just isn't. They better win tonight. I got them winning, by the way. 5-3. 5-3 final. So the Yanks lost to the Red Sox after winning 3 in the AL Championship. Sox went on to win their first World Series since the Civil War. As a Yanks fan, it hurt and still hurts thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah, but the Yankees have a rich history and they have a whole bunch of titles. So it's a little different. The Panthers have not won anything. So this is really important to them. And all you're going to be known for is, well, if you get there, you're going to choke. That's not good. The other 2 times you were supposed to lose. This is one you're not supposed to lose, dude. Just not supposed to lose. Unacceptable. The Panthers will be the pun of all jokes, memes, and they will need to win multiple championships after just to build the trust with the fan base they once had. Yeah. Yeah. Panthers, when a woman invites you to coffee, but she falls asleep. Kind of. Panthers will score the first goal. Panthers will be the aggressor, and they will win 5-3. I'm staying positive on this one. Okay? I'm staying positive. I'm gonna count on them to bounce back and bounce back strong. The 5-3 is because they picked up the third goal because they pulled the goalie with like a couple minutes left. So they had to like desperation. So they picked up the third goal. It was 5-2, a comfortable win, but they picked up a cheesy goal at the end, 5-3. So, agreed, but the pain is tough to stomach. Yep, it is. So, the first goal is going to feel deadly for either team. Yeah, it's hockey. There's a lot of game to be played. Unless the first goal is in the third period with 2 minutes left, you know. But Bob better be a wall tonight. Okay? They gave him the extra day off yesterday, so he better be perfect tonight. He better play the game of his life. And the guys in front of him need to play a lot better because this isn't about Bob. Bob has let in a bunch of goals. I get it, but the defense in front has been horrible. The forechecking has been horrible. They're allowing guys out in the open to get free. They got to do a much better job in front of Bob. All right, we're out of here. We thank Ira Winderman. We thank all of you that tuned in. Those of you that sent in any donations, thank you. Please visit our merch shop. You can also go to it. The link is in the YouTube page, Instagram, and Twitter. Somewhere there you'll find the link. BigORadioshow.myshopify.com, or use that QR code. Support our platform. Buy a shirt, buy a hat. Got Big O Show hats. Bitcoin Big O Show hats. Got Bitcoin Big O Show shirts. All kinds of Big O Show shirts. 305. Bring back the old logo. Blind ass fan shirts. Check it out. Support our platform however you can. Hit the like button. We're out of here. We'll see you tonight. Post-game show. We'll celebrate the Panthers winning the championship.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.